خذي هكا تشاشن قال لنا بإزدينين كوكا تشاشن قال إزدينا إزديا تشاشن قاليا.
Regularly targeted, constantly persecuted and ignored, the history of the Yazidis is filled with suffering and struggle. On the 3rd of August 2014, the Islamic State of Iraq and Syria, ISIS, attacked the mountainous region of Sinjar, homeland of the Yazidis, killing thousands of men whilst taking thousands of women and children into sexual slavery. Up to 200,000 Yazidis are still displaced throughout Iraqi Kurdistan and the world, whilst thousands of people remain missing. Since the liberation of Sinjar in 2015, some Yazidi families have managed to return to their homelands. Dai, Mother Kosha, spoke about those days. They took us captive. I remained a captive in their hands for 3 years and 3 months. One of my daughters was held captive for 40 days. My other daughter, Ezda, was held captive for 3 years. Ezda told her story. I was 13 when ISIS took me captive. I was a little child when they took me to Tel Afar, but I grew up that same day. We harmed no one. Why did this world do this to us, she asked. Layla Jalal, a Yazidi woman from Hardan village, survived the ISIS massacre by climbing up Mount Sinjar. Jalal describes how after a long journey they arrived in Rojava, northeast Syria. After Sinjar was liberated from ISIS, she returned to her village. She has not heard from her 2 sons ever since they were kidnapped by ISIS.
وكنت قنانا ما إنها تباما وما نقوتي خذ في دقنا في أما هستين مرانا كنا خوش كم خدش روجا فرماني وهاتا روجي أبرو خد إيفار كم سري خبي جري دانانيا هذا دي ما نزت شبو حالي وات أم نزان نتساغنا نتكشتينا نتهي خلنا ششتنا التينا برتشينا.
Sipan Halil was held captive by ISIS after she was kidnapped from Kocho village. She was first taken to Mosul, then to Raqqa, and held there as a captive for 7 years. Since she forgot her mother language during this time, she cannot speak Kurdish anymore. She recounted how she was sold to an ISIS member from Lebanon who raped her constantly and physically tortured her. She escaped by chance when a mine exploded by the roadside whilst she was in a passing vehicle. She ran away, then travelled to Damascus, then travelled to the Yazidi house in Rojava, where they helped her to return to Sinjar after it had been liberated from ISIS. Stating that she feels so happy having reached her hometown after years in captivity, she said, "We the Yazidi people and women should struggle against ISIS. We have to ask them to account for what they did to us."